My headache.
Okay, we're recording. Yeah, caffeine will help your headache.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It'll make it worse.
I'm gonna try some caffeine.
No, well, the thing is, it might be caffeine withdrawal.
Oh,
And I get a
yeah, because you
headache.
haven't had caffeine in ages.
Yeah.
Several years, in fact.
So, yeah, that could just be that kicking in.
Maybe.
Finally.
Ew, that's a creepy.
Who are we?
We're the CineBeards.
Yes.
What do we want?
Movies.
And
The Snyder Cut?
no. Well, actually, yes, we do, so that people will shut the fuck up.
It's
about
not that
the
we
Snyder
want
Cut.
it, it's that the cast of the Justice League
I
wants
saw a lot of
it.
people
Except for Henry
tweeting about it
Cavill.
this
Except
week.
for Henry Cav.
But
It's like
you
Henry
saw
said.
people talking about it last week, Dion. We're recording out of order today.
I saw people talking about it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're still talking about it, because I'm using my power to see the future.
Good job.
That's terrible power.
Okay,
really
so
is.
seeing as Henry has gone, I'm calling him Henry first name basis.
Oh, of course.
Because I mean,
Sweet Henry.
he's only had shit to say about the Superman movies after Man of Steel.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
So,
Do
or at
share?
least he said that Batman v Superman wasn't a Superman movie, not only because it started with the word Batman in the title, but because it was dark, dour, and depressing, all things that Superman isn't.
Nice. Good boy. Good.
Can't wait for my pitch.
He channeled that sadness into portraying Geralt of Rivia, which is now on Netflix, I think.
Jerry
It was already before it was released, I think 2 weeks ago from when this airs, or 3 weeks ago from when this airs, it's already been confirmed to have a season 2 in the works.
Yeah.
Cool.
We
They
discussed
do
that at length.
They do that a lot these days to sort of show faith in the product.
Yeah.
It's like a PR thing. It's like where they announced Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy just before Last Jedi came out.
Yeah.
They were right to be confident in the film, they were just
Yeah,
did
well, I
not
mean,
know their fans.
yeah, they were just a little hasty.
His trilogy is still happening, though.
Well, I mean, I know
No,
you can
not
tell
officially.
us more about that kind of stuff. Dion, if you can go let our guest in.
Okay.
Step, getting further away.
Door
Goodbye,
opening.
Dion.
Step, getting closer, getting louder, getting closer. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Why did Dion say goodbye in a Graham Hollywood voice?
It's unclear.
Welcome, Graham. It's confusing. Please welcome back to the studio, Graham Hollywood.
Hello. Stop. Very good.
So,
Yes.
the
Hello.
reason we brought you in today
Yes.
is because we know our boy Henry has confirmed that he is still Superman. To quote him, the cape is still hanging in his closet.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's a CG cap that doesn't actually exist, but yeah.
It does actually exist if you look at the set photos of Man of Steel.
In
No,
your
Marcus.
face.
Shut the
Also,
fuck
his
up.
suit in the set photos is bright blue before Zack Snyder
Before
desaturated
Zack
it.
Snyder got his sepia all over it.
We
yeah,
brought
that's
you in.
Mm-hmm.
Great
I said-
visual gags there, Graham.
I said what I said.
Oh, that's sepia.
We brought
Why
you
he
in.
pulled me out of cryogenic state.
The tubes got
You almost owed me a speedboat.
Graham, you have thousands of speedboats.
Not thousands enough. The number of speedboats you need is n+1, where n is the number of speedboats you already have.
That's fair. That's just maths, and I can't refute maths.
So wait, I only need one speedboat.
At the moment, yes.
Fantastic.
Why have you summoned me?
We want to pitch to you good Superman movies. Superman movies that
Explain.
will make money.
Yes. Like Batman v Superman.
That lost
Money,
you
money.
No, it made a shit. No,
Batman
wait,
v
it did
Su-
lose money.
Batman v Superman.
No, it did make money.
It
Did
made
not
money.
Yeah.
So money.
Not a lot of profit.
It could have made
made a lot of turnover, not a lot
more
of
money.
profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, after your
Because the
advertising,
budget was 280, the advertising was close to 200 as well,
and it made like 580.
and it made 650.
I need
God
to talk
damn.
to my accountants. Hiding
They
things
math
from
wrong.
me.
But then again, you are listening to numbers from me.
So, Batman v Superman, 650 mil. Just Superman, 325. Not good.
Graham, I can guarantee you that at least one of these Superman movies will make $1 billion.
I know mine will. That's why I'm going last.
Okay. I am a quiver
With money.
and ready.
And ready.
All your loins are quivering.
I actually want to check for you quick, Graham. What Man of Steel made at the box office. And I just googled Man Steel of, so you know I'm really awake and alert. Okay, so who's gonna... Man of Steel made 668. That's Superman alone.
Not bad.
Nice. Jason, you go first. I want you to go first.
Batman v Superman worldwide made
872.
So Batman's only really worth 200,000 these days.
At
Learn back from Jason, you have.
at least
pros.
At least $20.
At least $20.
0.2.
At least
Batman's
$20.
money is in his rogues gallery, apparently.
Yeah, he's worth less than the Joker, but we won't touch on that.
I saw an article
Do you know who
today-
is in Batman's rogues gallery?
Joker.
Superman.
I mean,
Because there's even a 1% chance.
There's even a 1% chance that he is the enemy. We have to take it as an absolute certainty.
all right, Lex
Oh,
Luthor.
yeah, I saw an article today from Screen Rant, I know.
Parallel.
Friends of mine. Yes, yes.
They,
yes.
they famously praised Joker for being great. Their article was titled, Joker 2 needs to introduce the real Joker.
I can't wait to watch this movie. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
I can't
like.
have to see it
I
so
can't
much.
wait to see it. But we're not here to talk about the Joker.
No, we're here to talk about Superman.
A possible Superman sequel, a Man of Steel 2, if you will.
Joker
Let's,
is actually
let's not jump on that boat, because in my one, he comes from an
Joker
actual
in my
Parma
pitch?
Kent, not...
no
not
Joker's
the murder Kent.
no Joker's not in my pitch. He was gonna be.
He's not in mine either.
Let's start off strong. I want to hear from the Jew.
We did create Superman.
Very good. Very good.
I read a whole lot of older standalone Superman stories and comics and stuff like that. There's some really good stories when Superman is written properly.
Yeah, like one of my all-time favorites, All-Star Superman. I mean, Jeff Johns like fucking nailed it.
Have
with
you
that.
read?
man,
Have you
awesome.
read that most recent run of Superman Smashes the Klan?
No?
Really cool.
It's
It's
dope.
it's the classic retelling of when in the 50s in America the Klan was in a resurgence, and so Superman writers wrote that Superman's new enemy became the Ku Klux Klan, and their numbers were drastically slashed, and Superman became
And then he fought Muhammad Ali.
But now there's a current run of Superman called Superman Smashes the Klan, and it's done in this kind of pseudo anime art style, kind of like a cutesy thing, and it makes the Klan look so much more threatening, actually, because it's this like weird incongruous thing of these like awful garbage people, but done in this like weird anime style.
One question. What are comic books?
We'll get to it.
Comic books are endless gold mines.
Yeah.
We don't even have to come up with our own ideas. We can just go through comic books, take the ideas straight from there, and not really pay the people whose stories we
Guess
use.
what? That's my whole pitch.
Oh, I can see it. Oh, the art looks
And
freaking
guess what,
dark.
Graham? We can also piggyback off the writer's fame to get real comic book fans to say it's good. And then gatekeep that and create a negative advertising feedback loop to generate controversy to get people in seats. A lot of my pitch is based on this.
Yeah,
You're speaking
that
my
is
language.
dope. Look at this, Jason. That's Superman punching a super Nazi
Whoa!
for the Klan.
That's some really great art.
I've got it. I'll give it to you.
That almost looks like a mix between between Kingdom Come and Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, just remember that for Dion. Grab. Put it in your memory bank. That would make a hell of a poster.
It's a little bit political. Having Superman punching Nazis.
I wish you would just open a dialogue with them. Speaking of which, have you finished Young Justice Season 3?
Season 3, yes. Outsiders, no.
Yeah, of Outsiders.
No.
They just turned Lex Luthor into Donald Trump. Like the way he talks, the way he talks,
Luthor
like
was president ages ago.
he starts like adopting Trump's mannerisms and shit, and it's hilarious to see how well it works.
Yeah, I
I
read a
really need to
good,
re-up my subscription to DC Universe.
A really good 2-issue story called Superman Crisis at Hand, where essentially it's about a husband and wife that live in the same building as Clark Kent, where the husband beats the wife. But when Superman tries to help, she's like, "No, fuck you, Superman, get away, I love him and he loves me." And it's his kind of like internal crisis of like, how do I help this? Like, how do I help in this situation? Why do I do this?
Seduce her.
He turns into his alter ego, Clark Kent.
Yeah,
and
and
solves it that
ultimately,
way.
Superman can't help her. It's up to like the lady herself, and helped a little bit by Lois Lane.
They will stumble, they will fall.
That one day they will follow you
It's,
in the sun.
It's really good. Superman
Join
Crisis
you
at
in the
Hand.
sun.
Join
it's
you in
called.
the sun.
I will look it up.
No offense, but this isn't very good. Do you do this every week?
Man, I really should watch Man
No
of
one
Steel
fucking
again.
listens to this.
We have tens of
This
viewers.
is it's terrible.
And at least 4 readers.
Now, pitch me.
Okay, so I was playing around with a couple ideas of what to do. I considered All-Star Superman.
Ideas?
Yeah, because it's a hell of a story.
Money
It's a hell of a story, but it's a little bit disjointed and
okay,
works much better
okay.
as 12 issues of a comic book series than as a film.
You should pitch it to Claw of Netflix.
Claw of Netflix. So that would work as an excellent Superman series. But as a movie for me, what the way I see Superman and the way I want Superman portrayed, the best one for me to be adapted into a movie has already been done so and animated.
Why are you talking to him?
Because he understands comics.
Yeah,
Speaking
but
about comics, when I get to the movie and
you have to
money, I
pitch
will
to
point.
me.
Yeah, when
You
I
have
get
to
to the movie
pitch.
and money, I'll get to you.
Getting bored. What's your pitch?
My pitch is to listen to the Jews pitch.
Very good.
That Marcus will never steer you wrong in Hollywood.
I know, right?
So the one I think is best is what's so funny about truth, justice, and the American way, or
Nothing.
Think of the money.
or the one that the animated movie is called Superman vs. the Elite.
Oh shit! I love that one.
no.
Yes. No, the elite aren't rich people.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they're not the 1%. They're a bunch of
Chavs.
chavs, basically.
Well, actually,
They're
one
foreigners
chav-
and they're mutants.
They are foreigners.
Foreigners.
Okay, very good, very
One
good.
of them's even a shade of brown. 2 of them. Oh shit, 2 of them.
Very good.
And one of them has a mental illness.
Very good. Yes,
Exploitable.
yes.
Exploitable. Like we just exploited Joker. Mental illness.
So much money.
Oh god, that's oh man, that scene where it just
Nope.
Ah,
Alright, so what's so funny about truth, justice, and the American way is
Nothing.
Superman always sticks to his guns. There's no killing,
Guns, yes. Like Batman.
no guns.
Oh, good visual gag. I'm starting to see the appeal.
So Superman's doing his no killing thing, locking people up, obeying the law,
Immigrants.
using his power responsibly. But the world seems to have moved on, and they're demanding more violent justice.
Good.
You know, more Zack Snyder-y justice.
more Batman-y, brand a
Yeah.
criminal and let him get raped in prison kind of justice.
Very good.
Well, just straight up murder them kind of justice. So, people are demanding more violent justice because the people Superman catches keep breaking out of prison because comic books.
Yeah.
So enter the group of people that call themselves the Elite. They are a group of 4 people led by a guy calling himself Manchester Black, who has telekinetic powers. Don't worry, Graham, he is a white man. But
good.
he is British.
His entire chest is also tattooed with the Union Jack.
Think patriotism. Might not be your patriotism, but patriotism.
It's a kind of nationalism.
Okay.
Although the character does say they do not believe in borders or countries.
Like most nationalists, they're very confused.
Okay.
So it's him, a guy who uses magic by the name of Hat, a lady who is, I guess, infested with beasts, she calls them, which are
A
weird
what?
beastie things that live in a symbiotic relationship with her.
They're
what?
A
insects.
hat. He uses magic from a hat.
The third person?
The third person is Cold Cast.
Who's
He-
the lady?
She's invested with some beasts.
The lady is Pam, or Menagerie.
Can we make her a man?
No.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah, why not?
That's up to casting, Graham.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I do actually have casting
It's got
here
weird
for what
bug
I want.
powers.
Nice.
The story is Superman's ideals versus the ideals of these elite. These people who are willing to go that little bit further, to kill, to intimidate. They say at one point, they are the good guys, namely us, and they are the bad guys, namely anyone who treats anyone else like trash to further their own petty aims. You asked for us, world, now you got us. Be good, or we'll blow your house with a 50 megaton clod-seeking cluster bomb.
Very good.
Would I feel super good for this day and age with everybody ready to just fucking kill everyone on social media?
Yes.
So for Superman to just go there and be like, guys, there are better ways
just
Be
to
calm
the
do
down.
voice
things.
of reason.
Yeah, to be the voice of reason. So then we also kind of get a look at the violent Superman that everyone asks for.
Indeed, because
Where
he
he
goes.
pretends to go off the rails.
Why?
Do murders.
But
to kind of show people, if you're asking for this kind of thing, this is what you're going to get, and you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
but he's not
He's
going.
like the Old Testament God.
But he's not going full
Exactly.
off the rails, so we're subverting expectations, but the right way.
Very good.
I mean,
YouTube will love that.
I mean, yeah, when he goes all crazy, he gets bloodshot eyes, and he really looks like
He looks like a beast.
Superman looks in Zack Snyder's weird Batman dream sequence in Batman v Superman.
So
It seems quite petty for Superman.
there's a whole big fight in like the middle of a town in the animated movie, which I think does it slightly better than the
Don't
comic
they
book.
fight on the moon in the comic?
They
in
start
the
on the
comic, they
moon.
fight on one of the moons of Saturn.
Yeah.
In the
Of course.
In the movie, they fight on Earth.
on our moon, and then it moves to Metropolis,
Yes.
where
A lot
there's
cheaper to film on location.
Cool Stanley.
No. It's way cheaper to shoot on a green screen and then pay visual effects artists way less than they should be paid. It's gonna be a large part of my
And,
match.
and the thing is, because Superman needs help to pull off these kind of stunts and making it look like he's gone evil, he needs help from a lot of superpowered people. And we did recently have a very successful movie with a family of 6 superpowered people, the Shazam family. Yeah, so you can easily drag him in there to help him out
Very
with that
nice.
scheme. And it ends with a quote that I think is a nice big ol' fuck you to Zack Snyder and his, if you think your heroes don't kill, you're living in a dream world.
I'm already down the street with that shit.
Dreams save us. Dreams lift us up and transform us. And on my soul, I swear, until my dream of a world where dignity, honor, and justice becomes a reality we all share, I'll never stop fighting.
It's very good.
And
Very
think-
good.
think
Can
about
it be half as many words?
Could be, but if you keep it as that many words, that sort of level of inspirationalism might put you on track for an Oscar.
Ooh.
So for casting, obviously Superman is Henry Cavill. I was thinking for Manchester Black, Toby Kebbell,
I like
the
it.
lead from Rock and Roller. For Hat, we can have Steven Yeun from The Walking Dead. Just because I enjoy watching her in everything she does. Sophia Boutella as Pam.
Who?
Jailer.
Ooh. Good.
And Thomas is going to like this casting. For cold cast, I was thinking, seeing as he is a tall, massive fella, Christopher Judge.
Yeah, I fucking love Chris Judge. You'll remember him recently from his stellar voice performance as Kratos. Made a lot of money that game.
Amanda Waller, we're going to keep Viola Davis.
Because why would you not?
Because why would you not?
Yeah.
For Lex Luthor, bring back Michael Rosenbaum.
What does Lex Luthor have to do with this?
He is president in the story.
Hmm.
And then, because Superman needs somebody to help him with all the computer nonsense at one point, we can bring in Ray Fisher as Cyborg.
Okay.
So you kind of
good.
appease. So you kind of appease some of the fans from
The
earlier
apologists.
movies. The apologists.
Apologists.
They don't have a lot of money.
But they have a lot of keyboards.
And it'll give actual Superman fans the Superman they've really just been wanting since Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Not bad.
Good pitch.
Also, no sepia washout coloring. Bright, happy. Like the Marvel movies.
$1 bill, yo. Alright.
Very good.
pitch.
I like it.
Marcus, what you got? Hey!
So, Graham, what if I told you?
That was the name of my Disney Plus show.
And Jason gets more coffee
Maybe
on
more
his
coffee in
pants.
your studio. Sorry, in Dion's studio.
So, mine is billed to be a critical success. One of the most critically successful DC movies so far has been Shazam.
Very good.
So, my movie is not only a Superman sequel, it's also a Shazam sequel.
Feels like you're copying from me a little bit.
It feels like neither of these have anything to do with my pitch.
No, I'm not. You see, recently, as recent
How
as
much money did Shazam make?
enough.
You can continue with your pitch, Marcus. I'll
Yeah.
find the.
Okay. So, in 2006 is where I pull my source from. It's a comic book called Superman and Shazam First Thunder. But we'll workshop the title. But you've actually read First Thunder, haven't you?
I have indeed.
So, in the story, we have to make a few subtle changes because of how the Shazam movie
No one
ended.
reads comic books, doesn't matter.
Exactly.
That is true. We'll make it fit more towards the movie. So, in the source for First Thunder,
365 million.
add that to Superman 680, you've got 1 billion.
It was also relatively cheap to make.
You're cheap to make.
It's true, I am.
By the way, I found
Yeah.
Jason Bakery.
It made 3 times its money back.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So give it more money, and obviously
Including marketing, by the way,
Including-
3 times.
nice. We're also going to bring back David F. Sandberg to direct because he really knew how to portray a sense of fun in the Shazam movie, and
A sense of?
fun.
Money for children.
Ooh.
Children money. Action figures.
Merchandising.
Monarchies.
Money, merchandising.
There's 7 of them, you say?
Yes.
That's a lot of action
And
figures.
there's 7 of their super versions and 7 of their kid versions.
6 of the kid versions.
6 of the kid
'cause
versions,
Superman is
excuse
one
me.
of 7.
Yeah.
Baby Superman.
The,
He's in my pitch.
so
This is a good day.
it really is a good day. So this the timeline for this it's going to help explain the post-credit scene in the Shazam movie where Superman just shows up. You know? You've seen it?
Was that post credits?
Yeah.
I thought post credits was the thing with the worm.
That was first post credits, I think.
Oh, there were 2.
Yeah.
Good money. I just thought it was the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I need to watch that movie again.
I should
The,
too.
the thing,
Well, I'll just pay someone to watch it for me.
the thing with the worm, as you called it, and the recent announcement that Maxwell Lord recent at time of recording, that Maxwell Lord is going to be in Wonder Woman gives me hope for a blue and gold movie.
Every time you're gonna get disappointed, Jason. You just are.
One day he'll get
Can
his
only
blue
use that
people.
GIF so many times.
So, just to give you an idea of the source material, and then I'll go into how we're going to adapt it. In the source book, one of Shazam's family members, or his best friend, gets murdered by Dr. Savannah.
Very nice.
He finds out that Shazam is Billy Batson.
Which is why it's going to have to change.
Yeah, exactly. Because Savannah's dead in the movie universe. So Shazam goes a little bit murdery
Very good.
and beats Savannah nearly to death, which is why Superman shows up and basically tells like, yo, this is not cool. And Shazam just breaks down, and that's how Superman finds out that he's just a kid. Right? Because he transforms like, I'm fucking 11, dude. What do you want from me? And Superman then goes to the old wizard who's also still alive in the comic book, telling him like, the fuck did you do? You gave this kind of power to a kid? What are you, crazy? And
Yes.
That reminds me of the moment in Justice League when they're all discussing how they just found out that Shazam is a little kid, and Batman's like, I knew all along.
yeah,
I knew.
And one woman was like, well, you just like putting kids in danger anyway.
yeah.
Every time Bruce Wayne goes near a child, he takes a little R out of his jacket pocket and slowly pins it to the back of the child's collar.
Parents have to like slap his hands away.
Slowly bringing the Robin brand out. It's like,
And then most of the story is about Superman teaching Shazam how to be a real hero. He becomes a mentor figure. We're going to keep that core, but we are
Harvey
going to
Weinstein
change.
figure.
Yes. So we're going to keep that core and change some of the things to better fit. So what we're going to do is, it'll open with the inciting event. And we won't know who caused what. We're going to add a bit of a mystery to the movie. And this is going to be controversial. But it's going to put butts in seats. Someone is going to blow up Billy Batson's school.
Good.
we'll get paid
Like-
actors.
They're going to use a large bullet to shoot the entire school.
Yes.
Damn.
They're going to artillery the school, like a really big
School
bullet.
artillery, the school.
Yeah, a school artillery the school. Like, it's going to be the most... Like, because people are like...
They're gonna
They're
quake
not
to
even-
that school.
Yeah,
Another
School strike too.
another school mortar strike.
yeah. And that's going to really, like, amp up the stakes, because people are like, school shootings are a real problem.
The school mortar shellings, even more so.
Exactly. So, that's the inciting incident.
Gonna
Billy...
give kids ideas.
I know, right?
If a child wants to get hold of artillery, they will get the artillery. There's no point in banning
You
it.
can't stop them because it's just gonna open a black
You need a
market.
good kid with artillery.
You need a good kid with a Patriot missile launcher to shoot down the artillery shells.
Why are we laughing? This just sounds like common sense.
So Billy Batson survives. He is at the school when it gets attacked, but he survives because he transforms into Shazam. And while he transforms, he tries to save as many children as he can, but he can't save anyone.
Womp womp womp.
Not
We're gonna play
even
that sound effect.
In the trailer.
Yes.
Nice.
Womp, womp, womp.
So the entire school is dead
And
except
Smash Mouth
for Billy.
in the trailer.
This makes him
In a
go.
minor key and slow.
Stop helping Marcus.
This makes him, understandably, a little bit angry at the world. I mean, all of his friends are dead for like no reason whatsoever.
Wait. So then he becomes a disenfranchised white young boy.
Stop stealing my pitch.
I'm not stealing your. He
It's
doesn't
so
become
good.
disenfranchised. He's already disenfranchised because he's an orphan. Remember?
So disenfranchised in my pitch.
Okay, if you want to put that many schools at
It
risk,
has to-
you do that.
It has to be a franchise.
We'll get to that.
It is a franchise.
But that's not what you just said.
It's a different kind of fan. Don't worry, it doesn't affect the money.
Okay,
Doesn't affect the money. It does not affect the money. Just remember that.
good.
So Shazam goes a little
Who?
bit. Shazam,
Title character.
one of the title characters. God damn it, Graham.
Graham, were you fishing for the real Captain Marvel?
I was working up to it, but thank you.
So the real, and by that I mean white cis male Captain Marvel, becomes a little bit angrier in his day-to-day heroing.
Very good.
I mean, he starts really like physically assaulting criminals and bank robbers and low-level pickpockets and things like that. This, of course, starts making it into the news, or the blogosphere, as the kids call it. And this is how Clark Kent finds out that something's wrong with the superhero that he knows has appeared in Fawcett City. And with this, Clark Kent just disappears from the Daily Planet. Nobody cares because he does that all the time. And Superman comes to Fawcett City. This is all within like the first 20 minutes
What
of the
happened
movie.
to Clark Kent?
He's on assignment in Afghanistan. Again.
Very good.
Are you pitching the movie or writing the script?
I'm pitching the movie.
And writing the script at the same time.
I'm writing the script.
Apparently.
Shut up. That's how my pitch works. So, Superman arrives and tries to teach Shazam, how to deal with loss and everything, because he's been through it. Remember he watched his father die in a tornado and he could have saved him?
I remember. Very emotional.
Very, very emotional.
Very good.
Also, the bus full of children and, Lois Lane
There was a
almost dying
dog.
like 7 times.
Kill them all, Clark!
And so he tries to teach Shazam, how to deal with the pain of loss and everything and still remain good and pure and, be the hero that everyone wants him to be. They also find out that the bombing was perpetrated by Lex Luthor Sr.
We have to specify that now because of the whole other.
Because you see, the young Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg, is not in this movie. Because he's on the run, his retired father, because they never actually specified he was dead. His retired father returns to LexCorp to run it.
Played by?
Played by the casting everyone wanted in the beginning, Bryan Cranston.
Nope.
He's too
I'm
old.
out. I'm immediately noping out of this movie.
He's old, man.
He's old.
He's Lex Luthor Sr.
I know, but Lex Luthor, regardless of junior or senior, is supposed to be the...
He's not vital.
He's essentially supposed to be evil Batman. The best that a human can be, and thusly angry at Superman for being more just naturally.
He's meant to be an Ubermensch.
All of this just sounded like static because it's not part of his pitch. No one reads comic books. Continue, Marcus.
Yeah. Besides, Bryan Cranston can bulk up. If Dave Bautista can look at that in his 40s, Bryan Cranston can put
look
on
like
some
that in
muscle.
the 60s.
Just young Jeff Bridges here.
Yeah, or just young Jeff Bridges.
Did you not see Arnold Schwarzenegger in the last few Terminator movies?
Yeah, the last 7.
CG, my friends.
So, turns out Lex Luthor Sr. is also super evil. Because, he's still Lex Luthor. His son was
twist.
trying to live up to his father's legacy. So you've got that angle in it too. And Superman and Shazam find out, and the main thrust of the story is Superman teaching Shazam how to be a hero while they have to face one of Superman's greatest enemies in Lex Luthor. That'll make the fanboys happy, but because we're casting
money.
a different Lex Luthor, the standard audience isn't going to know what this Luthor is all about. Neither is Superman, so he doesn't know how to deal with this. So even though we open it as a Shazam movie, Shazam quickly becomes the sidekick to Superman.
Can Superman, when he defeats Lex Luthor Jr., Sr., take his arm and go, "Hey, what's that your arm's doing? It's Breaking Bad! Ha ha ha!" And then snap his arm.
He can try it, but Shazam.
It's called comedy.
It's one of the lines we'll give to the writers. We'll
Yeah.
see how they
Put
work
it
it
in
on
the
the day.
trailer with Smash Mouth.
We'll put it in the trailer with Smash.
Somebody once told me the
World
world
is
was
gonna break bad.
Oh, yes, yes,
This was Lex Luthor throw pizza onto a roof.
This is
No.
almost as funny as Flash's line from the Justice League trailer.
Exactly.
Almost.
That was my second
Yeah.
favorite arm.
So by the climax of the story, Superman has also like started giving in to his because Lex Luthor is just really trying to mess with him on a psychological level, like throughout the entire movie, to the point where Superman is back at that point where he's prepared to snap his neck, you know, as a callback to Man of Steel when he snapped Zod's neck, and then Shazam will stop him and tell
You
him,
mean David Goya's favorite moment of the movie?
yes.
Have you read
We're-
some of his quotes?
We're
about that
calling back to it
moment?
and we're
I don't-
subverting it using
Can't
Shazam.
read?
We're going back to it and we're subverting it using Shazam. So Shazam then convinces Superman not to snap Lex Luthor's neck, and they jump him in prison and they go off. They fist bump like so, you know that sort of like
Nice.
bam, and they go their separate ways. And I mean, we'll use the cover for the first comic as the
think
poster
so.
with Zachary Levi and Henry Cavill in those poses.
Very nice.
And I'm thinking we can call it Man of Steel, Man of Thunder. We'll workshop it.
How about Men of
alright.
Steel and Thunder?
No. Too much testosterone in there.
Yeah.
Very good. I like it. So, in summary, too much plot, not enough plot. Bring us home.
Well,
Be my honorary Jew.
what?
I was trying so hard not to do too much plot, but I tried too hard.
It's a fatal mistake in Hollywood.
I'll run through my plot because I mostly have a plot outline.
Who are you, George Miller?
So, you know, I'm glad you mentioned a Miller, because while these two men have chosen
It's a strong word.
really good, like, solid
Are you
source
going more Frank
material.
Miller?
They've chosen really good source materials, you know, beloved, trusted stories as to what Superman's character is. But you know, have they really gotten to the nitty gritty, to the heart, to the
Christ.
to the grimy underbelly of the
gonna
character?
strangle
So we
you,
open on
Zach.
Earth 31 continuity.
I don't know what that is. I
See,
don't read.
we are
I
going
can't
to
read.
so
we
much.
are going to be, and because it's going to be
You're a
by
bad
far
person, Thomas.
the cheapest of all these movies to
Ooh,
make,
okay.
because there's no big CG battles, there's no big, you know, it's character driven. But that character
like
is,
Joker.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you mentioned
Oh,
Joker,
I might
because
break
this
things in your
is going to
studio.
be an R-rated Superman movie.
I
So
forgot to mention mine. Lex Luthor puts on that fabulous
Sombrero.
that fabulous armor.
Ooh,
I
nice.
Take a
love
fist
that armor.
fight.
I love that armor.
Take a fist fight to the two.
But yes,
heroes.
I am adapting.
Fisting for the ages.
I am
the
adapting-
And it
tagline.
works because that armor comes from Apocalypse.
Yeah.
No one
And then you can get
cares.
that Apocalypse tie-in later
Yep.
for the franchise. Post-credit scene.
Yeah.
I am adapting Frank Miller's Year
That they
One
do.
Superman.
Oh, come on.
What DC Comics
When
calls
he's a baby.
the definitive origin story on their website. So
I
we
hate it
start.
so much.
We start with the flashback of, you know, Krypton exploding, everyone's dying. It's horrific. Like it is like the scene in
Sounds
Man of Steel,
expensive.
but way worse. No,
Can
no,
we
no. We just do
reuse it?
flashes. We just do flashes.
Okay.
Keyframes. You
And,
can even
and
do.
does he fall?
You can even do a
Does he
key.
trip and fall?
Nah, you can even do a
Flash?
keyframe animation.
Very nice.
You know, because it's memory, baby. And then we cut Earth. Crash lands, open the pod, but there's like weird psychic manipulations of the kids. Superman can actually do this. And he psychically manipulates the kids into
Good.
thinking. By the way, everything in my story pitch is adapted directly from the comics.
From the
See-
what? Oh, those things.
the things we could get for very little money and get lots of people in the
Don't
seats.
have to
And
pay
because
you any money.
the story itself is pretty controversial, that will immediately get people talking about it.
And for people with only tangential knowledge of comic books, they know Frank Miller is the
Exactly,
man who
they-
did Dark Knight Returns.
And Dark Knight Returns is a fucking rock solid story. And they'll think, oh, Frank Miller, the Sin City guy?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, the first Dark Knight Returns was rock solid.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not
So-
so much a fan of the Master Race.
Then we, you know, we're
Very out of character for you.
we're going to be telling the story because it's a like proper origin. We're going to be time jumping like Man of Steel did, but way less explanation because we're just going to let the audience figure it out.
That's confusing.
But it's cheaper.
Please tell me you're going to
We're
get
going to
Todd
cut down
Phillips
the
to
run.
direct.
We're cutting the run time
Ooh.
because you know more run time. Yeah.
Screenings.
We cut to Clark in junior school. He kind of hates all his classmates because they're fragile and they're stupid and everything sucks for them. So why should he care about them?
They're poor.
His dad, Pa Kent, is kind of like, you know what? You should beat those kids up because they're bad kids. Don't kill them, but don't be afraid to beat them up.
Very nice.
Talk
That's
to them
good.
first and then flatten them.
This sounds like a less murdery Brightburn.
You know, then we cut to high school. He's doing sports and he's fucking killing it. He's fucking killing it
Very
because he's
good.
fucking Superman.
Power
Why wouldn't
fantasy.
he kill? You know what I'm saying? White man, good at sports,
I like
ladies
it.
love him. Power fantasy.
So he
and again,
is the
he's-
quarterback that gets all the pussy.
Yes.
He's an alpha Chad.
He's exactly that. And again, because we're still, you know, just still no CG. It's just people, just character work, cheap. Then, what does he do after school? What's the most patriotic thing you can do?
Go to the
Go shoot 'em.
military.
Go to the
some brown
military.
people.
Joins the Navy SEALs.
Ooh.
And
Dude, six.
and he's really
I
good
don't
at
know what
it.
some seals make.
He's really good at it because
Just pyros.
They go like this.
Don't leave me hiding!
I'm a seal. I'm a seal. I'm a seal.
Because why
That's
wouldn't he
allowed.
be really good at it? Hits the bullseye every time, is constantly commenting on how fragile and weak his teammates are and how he could kill them if he needed to.
Very nice.
You know?
Yeah, classic Superman stuff. I
Yeah,
fucking hate
sounds-
this, Thomas.
Like, and you know what? He loves his job because he loves the danger. That's
So
why
much
he loves
danger.
it.
Doesn't he at one
Superman.
point
That's
take
why-
a knife to
that's
the
why he
chest and
loves
not
it.
even flinch?
You know, also, next to the naval base, there's a whole bunch of mermaids there, and Superman can breathe underwater. You know?
Oh, he doesn't need to breathe.
No, but... No, I'm not talking doesn't need to breathe. I'm talking breathe underwater.
Oh, he got them gills.
No, he can just breathe underwater.
Pay attention.
Doesn't get gills. Doesn't not breathe, you know, like when he's in space, because he's just a plant, basically.
Yeah.
He just can breathe.
Very
underwater.
good.
So then, we cut to the first mission. You know, all
Is
his training.
Aquaman in it?
We'll talk post-credits later. We cut to the first mission, but because he's Superman, you know, goes a little bit too far, is a little bit too heroic, disobeys orders, nearly gets the squad killed, but not before he shoots some dudes in the head, and not before he hits a man in the head with his gun so hard that his brain nearly comes out of his skull.
Very good.
Can we make it that the brain does come out?
We can. First shot of the R rating. Thank you, Marcus.
Man.
So that he's kicked out. He washes out, you know, but then he's like, what am I going to do now? I'm going to go get that mermaid vagina. And so he does. And he goes and fights the king of the mermaids and becomes Lord of Atlantis.
You make me so sad.
And, you know, again, we could just...
It's all in the same
This
book.
is such a power fantasy. I'm loving it.
And, you know, again, it's all underwater, and that underwater
As a
shit that
white
they
man,
did
this
in...
is all I
The
want.
underwater shit that they did in Aquaman looked great. We can use that tech again. We're ready for it. Then we time jump. Yes, Marcus.
Is King Orm going to be the king of the mermaids?
No, we're gonna go like old school, King Neptune.
Okay.
Like we're gonna remove it. We're gonna like, you know, from Poseidon. It's gonna be like a satellite kingdom.
Little Mermaid. Like
Well, they did establish that there are several kingdoms.
Indeed. Also, by the way, the first time we see the Superman suit is when he puts it on to go meet his mermaid girlfriend's dad. That's the first time we see the S.
good.
You know,
Yeah.
like you would. Then we time jump after he's become king of Atlantis and is now bored of it. We time jump later. Lois Lane, she's in trouble. Oh shit. He's got to save her.
Why?
So he does.
How does he know Lois Lane?
She's in the ocean. In a submarine.
She's in the ocean. He's
Pay
in the
attention.
ocean.
She's in the ocean in a submarine.
It's not like there's a lot of fish. In
and
the sea.
she's in trouble, and so he saves her.
Good.
And then picks her up and gets to the beach, and then has to fight the same Navy SEAls that he trained with, so he knows all their moves. And he nearly
SEALs.
kills them because of how pathetic they are. You know?
I like it.
Exactly. So he thinks, what am I going to do now? I'm bored of this king thing. Goes to be a reporter. Because the danger, right? So instead of,
Hidalgo Rivera.
yeah. And he talks about how stupid his co-workers are, how slow they are, how fragile they are, and how much he hates Clark Kent. There's no dialogue. There's no like, this part of me is different to who I am and I have to balance my life. No, he hates his human side and his humanity, and he hates people for having to make him pretend to be Clark.
I think he kind of took Bill from Kill Bill's view on Superman and then ran a little far with it.
He ran so far, he ran out of the stadium, through the car park, and got hit by a truck on the fucking freeway. He refers to, he constantly refers to his co-workers as puny and humanity as temporary. Then, what's he gonna do? His first night in Metropolis, puts on the Superman cape again. This is the second time we see it, and he thinks, I'm not gonna protect people that are getting mugged or help people that might be raped. We got to protect those banks. We got to protect that money because that's the only thing that's important. So
Just give me a moment. Shh.
I can literally hear Jason getting cancer.
So, he does it. He goes after those bank robbers. But later, we'll cut to... do you know what we'll do? We'll do a montage shot of him tying up a whole bunch of, rapists and thieves and murderers, just to show that he's a stand-up guy. We can't have him wholly protecting corporate interests because that's too much negative feedback for the advertising.
hurting me.
So...
You there in the Doctor Strange shirt.
Can all the murderers and rapists and whatever he ties up all be minorities?
We're going to go 70-30 on that
Okay.
split.
Just so they have a leg to stand and say, hey, they're all minorities.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
exactly. We got to have plausible denial.
glad you're getting in.
You're pointing out that they're minorities makes you a racist.
I'm glad you're also getting into
I don't
this pitch.
see color. Sorry.
Do you know what's the saddest thing is? Marcus and I both pitched Superman movies that we need. That's what we deserve.
Yeah.
So,
And his is the one that's gonna make so
dude,
much
you
white
don't
boy
know
money.
how much money mine is gonna make. So then
Hot topic tie-ins.
we cut to the first time we see the active antagonist Lex, because there's a hostage situation, but Lex has been, he's orchestrated the whole thing. Meets Supes for the first time, immediately manipulates him into trusting him and like saying Batman's a bad guy and you should totally go fight him. And Superman's like, you know what? I should totally do that because that dude, he plays too rough. Plays too rough.
Batman plays too rough.
Batman plays too
Hypocrisy,
rough.
I like it.
Batman plays too rough. Also, we'll have this Batman because, it's 2019. Hello. This Batman uses a gun. Not like a utility gun for his tools. He's got those too, but he uses an actual gat to shoot people. Right?
So
Very
you're,
good.
so you're basing it more on the Thomas Wayne version
No.
of Batman.
I'm basing it on the Earth 31 Batman. Using a gun to shoot people.
Isn't that
And-
no.
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 That's Flashpoint.
No one reads comics.
So then, the confrontation. And again, we build up to this big confrontation between Batman and Superman, but we subvert the expectations by having Wonder Woman step in before they're about to fight and be like, hey, let's not fight, guys.
They're still brown people we need to kill.
No, remember, it all builds up to this, and she's like, no, I've heard tell. What have I heard tell? Brainiac's about, and Kandor still exists. That's a city from Krypton.
Okay.
And so Superman's like, oh my god, you're totally right. And then he flies off, post-credits, Brainiac sitting in his chair going, end.
Very nice.
That entire comic just reminds me of the quote from What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, the American way, where he's like, I saw a child playing this friends today, and he said something like he wants to be in the elite when he grows up because it would be fun to kill bad guys.
That
Fun
does
to
sound like
kill.
fun.
But yeah, so as you can see, my movie, character-driven, R-rated, gritty, low special effects budget, high white people budget, you know? And because we're only with Cavill for half the movie, we get children actors and pay them in sweets and heroin. Like, it's so cheap. We will make a shit zillion dollars of this, and we can bill it as the definitive Superman origin story.
I love
and,
it.
you know, as you've seen with the DC properties, we can have like 4 origin stories running at the same time. Nobody gives a shit. Money, Graham. Money. And because of how un-Superman it is, it'll generate a ridiculous amount of online controversy, which means more people will go watch it.
The Snyder fans will double down on that shit
Snyder
so
fans,
hard.
Snyder fans will be like, "This is the Superman we deserved."
Okay.
It won't be
I'm
wrong.
going to make. Just give me a moment. I'm going to sum up each one, and I will make my decision. Thomas has greenlit.
Graham, you know, you've made this. Do you know what you've done? You've
money,
made
money.
the smart choice, Graham.
I have indeed.
Fortunately, I have to agree. You have made the smart choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are our pitches. You don't understand how fucking awful it was to read that. You don't.
guys.
Bye, Graham.
Bye,
Thank
Graham.
you for your
Thanks.
input.
Step away.
To cleanse your palate, you really should read Superman Shazam First Thunder. It is such a good
Hey guys, I'm
palate
back.
cleanser.
Hi,
What's
Dion.
up?
How was your
Hey, Dion.
pitch?
It was.
I'm so sad.
Graham wants
As
to
far as
make-
I know, canonically, Graham doesn't have a penis, and yet somehow he had an erection.
Money, you know.
Must be.
I pitched him
That's
the
the
biggest
power of money.
Moneyball idea
Oh, did you?
ever. Yeah.
Nice.
It was maybe the most painful reading experience of my life, and I read at least 2 chapters of Twilight.
So yeah, you'd probably do real well in Hollywood.
It's weird that.
It's weird that the one of us that works in the film industry.
Yeah. Weird.
I have no scruples or morals. No, but seriously, the Frank Miller Superman is one of the most
Sounds fucking horrible.
narratively jarring experiences of your life. Like,
sounds fucking
you're reading
terrible.
about Superman getting hyped on using guns, and it's not like the Superman. It's not like the entire thing. If the whole thing was kind of this commentary on Middle America's sort of reliance on firearms and their glorification of God and country. If it was like, if Frank Miller had gone that way, because I thought that's where it was going. It really feels like that's where it's going.
This is clearly the first Frank Miller comic you've read in a while.
Yeah, the last time I read Frank Miller was Dark Knight.
Okay.
Dark Knight Returns.
This sounds like a totally masturbatory power
It is.
fantasy
The whole thing is, and it's the
for
way
13-year-old boys.
It's the way that Superman relates to us that really is the worst part of it, because he's just commenting on how pathetic and puny and stupid and disgusting, and how we're this virus on this planet and he could kill us
The
at
thing
any
is, like,
moment.
knowing
It's
like
like Superman by way
teenage
of Agent
boys.
Smith.
If you gave a human teenage boy Superman's powers, that basically just sounds like how things would pan out.
Exactly. Also, I left it out
I mean,
of my
but
pitch,
that's-
but every single woman he meets immediately wants to jump his bones. Like, immediately. Wonder Woman meets him for the first time on that rooftop when she breaks up the fight between him and Bruce, and she immediately wants his dick. Immediately. She calls him her Adonis. Like, the first time they fucking meet. And,
fucking hate
and
Frank
he,
Miller so
and
much.
he is immediately like, a piece of my heart stays with you. And I'm like, you literally just
This
met
sounds
this
a
In the
lot-
woman.
cell Superman.
This sounds a lot like those. There's all the who's the fucking author? It's a South African author. They always study his work. I can't remember his
Clive
fucking name.
Cussler?
No.
Frederick Forsyth?
No. This is like
Wilbur Smith.
No, it's not. It's not one of those. It's like it's more like that you study in like academic
okay.
stuff. I think his book's called Foe or something. Anyway, but it's a author who is like an English
lecturer, old sort of dude in his 50s or 60s or whatever. And every book he writes is about an English professor, and he like hooks up, like he's just irresistible to his students, and because of his older man like wisdom, and it's just all of his books are that, every single one, and everyone's just like fucking fawning over these books. They're like, it's just so these investigations of the human condition and stuff. It's just that. It's just.
I'm so sad, guys. Can we stop?
I'm sorry that I had to pitch that, but
But you won.
I pitched it for the reason that it would make a shit zillion dollars.
Yeah,
You know it
So
would make a shit
mine.
zillion dollars.
not as much.
No,
I
clearly
mean, in
not.
fairness, yours would probably make more on the back end with the merchandising.
Yeah. Mine would definitely make the least.
Yeah,
amount of money.
yours would make the least, but would be the most critically well reviewed.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, but yours would get the most 10 out of 10s.
Yeah,
From like
From Polish
Screenland,
Mine would
Screenrant.
get the most
IGN.
0 out of 10s.
because
Yeah.
it's being way too political.
Way too political. Telling people there's a better
Mine-
way than
mine
just
would be
killing
review-
everybody.
What are you, a fucking socialist?
Coming back to it, mine would probably be review split like right down the middle, like Metascore of 50.
yours would be like 75 Metascore.
Like I said, a Metascore of
In,
50.
in line with
Mine would make a bajillion dollars.
Are you just practicing for the next Guess the Metascore, Dion?
Always. Every morning I get up and I say numbers into the mirror.
Bam, bam, bam.
One day.
A couple of raw eggs, like 63. Shake 'em up. Run to the top of the stairs. 54. Done.
Also, the whole perversion of the Kents
You're a
in
pervert.
the beginning, where they're like, yeah, no, Superman psychically manipulated these two into like wanting to raise him. They didn't do it out of the goodness of their hearts.
He psychically
He
manipulated.
psychically, like, it was like a defense mechanism that he had, and he like.
Somebody
But like a cute
made a
way.
comment recently that I think kind of fits, and the way that a whole bunch of people are seeing Superman now is like, he's too good, he's too powerful, like there needs to be something wrong with him.
Yeah, and his flaws.
The way everyone is seeing him now is kind of how Lex sees him in the comic books.
Which is ironic.
That's a sad indictment.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep. And on that terrible note,
We've
sad
been the
crabbies.
CineBeards.
Money talks.
Sad P.